Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every person's life where everything seems to fall apart, where nothing makes sense, where your soul is heavy, your mind is spinning, and your heart feels shattered. Maybe it's a relationship that collapsed, a career that vanished, a diagnosis that hit you like a freight train, or maybe it's the silence of your own mind at 2 a.m. whispers of doubt, fear, and pain telling you it's over. But let me tell you something right now. It's not over. Life doesn't break you to bury you. It breaks you to wake you. It shatters everything comfortable so it can show you what's real. Because you were never meant to stay comfortable. You were built to conquer. You were built to evolve. You were built to rise. The breaking is brutal. Oh, it hurts. It cuts deep. You'll question your worth. You'll doubt your abilities. You'll cry in secret. You'll scream into the void hoping for answers. But listen to me, those tears are not weakness. That pain is not a curse. That is your rebirth. That's your soul being carved into something unshakable. You see, life doesn't test the weak. It tests the ones it knows are capable of more. So if life is breaking you, it's because life is calling out your power. It's saying, wake up. You've been playing too small for too long. The question isn't, why is this happening to me? The real question is, what is this trying to awaken within me? Because in that moment of devastation, when you're lying face down in the dirt with nothing left but your heartbeat, you have a choice: stay down or rise, and that rise, that comeback, that is where the magic happens, that is where the hero is born, not in comfort, not in applause, but in fire of pain, pressure, and purpose. I know you've been broken. I know you've been betrayed, abandoned, overlooked, mistreated, but you're still here. Do you know what that means? That means you're undefeated. You see, power isn't born when things go right. Power is born when everything goes wrong. And you still get back up, so stop waiting for permission to heal. Stop begging life to get easier, instead get stronger. Stand up in the ruins of what broke you and declare, I'm not done, I'm not finished. I am just getting started. When life breaks you, break the limits of who you used to be, break the lies you believed about yourself, break the patterns that kept you trapped, and don't just bounce back. Bounce forward, because when life breaks you, it's not the end. It's the beginning of a new version of you, more powerful, more focused, more fearless than ever before. So the next time life breaks you, don't shrink, don't hide, don't run, stand up, look it in the eye and say, you picked the wrong person to break. Let's go. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is the messenger. It's not here to punish you. It's here to wake you up. It's the hammer that breaks the shell of who you think you are, so the truth of who you are can be released. Too many people walk around trying to avoid pain like it's a disease. But the truth is, everything you've ever grown through was born in pain. You didn't learn strength from success. You learned strength from struggle. You didn't learn wisdom in the sunshine. You learned it in the storm. And the faster you stop resisting the pain and start embracing it as the process of transformation, the faster you evolve. The universe isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to prepare you. When you lift weights, you tear the muscle so it can rebuild stronger. That tearing, that micro damage is necessary for growth. So why do we expect life to grow us without pain? Why do we believe greatness should come without sacrifice? Because someone lied to us. They told us happiness was in comfort. They told us success was a straight line. They told us we could have it all without facing our shadows. But that's not how warriors are made. Warriors are made in fire, and that fire is pain. But it's not the fire that burns you. It's the fire that forges you. It turns your fear into fuel. It turns your trauma into truth. It turns your breakdown into your breakthrough. So the next time pain shows up, stop asking, why me? And start asking, what's in this for me? What part of me is being refined? What truth have I been avoiding that this pain is trying to expose? What story have I been living that this situation is trying to rewrite? If you run from the pain, you'll repeat the cycle. But if you face it, if you let it teach you, you'll rise above the very thing that once broke you. Pain is the passport to your next level. The key is to stop labeling it as punishment and start honoring it as preparation. Because you're not broken. You're being rebuilt. You're not being punished. You're being promoted, but only if you lean into it. Most people want elevation without excavation, but you can't rise until you remove what no longer serves you. That's what pain does. It's the remover of illusions. It strips away the masks. It forces you to deal with your real self. the self that's been buried under fear, insecurity, ego, and doubt. And when you meet that self, when you reconnect with your inner truth, you remember who you were before the world told you who to be. That's what pain gives you, the chance to come home to yourself. So instead of avoiding the pain, use it. Instead of numbing it, harness it. Turn it into momentum. Turn it into mastery, because pain is not punishment. It's the pathway to power. That moment when everything falls apart. The job, the marriage, the dream, the health. That's the moment most people want to run. They want to give up. But that's the exact moment you were built for. You see, you don't discover your strength when things are easy. You discover it at the breaking point. That place where you feel like you can't go on, but something inside you refuses to quit. That's your power. That's your true self breaking through the limits you didn't even know were holding you back. You were built for breaking point. You were built for the nights when you cry yourself to sleep. For the mornings when you don't even want to get out of bed. For the days when everything in your life tells you you're done. But something inside you whispers, keep going. That whisper is the voice of your greatness. That's the voice of resilience. That's the voice of the unbreakable you. People think strength is about pretending you're fine. That's not strength. Real strength is staring at the mess, feeling the pain, and showing up anyway. Real strength is crying and bleeding and doubting, but still moving forward. It's in those moments where nothing makes sense, where every fiber of your being screams for relief, and you still choose growth. That's what separates the average from the exceptional. That's what separates the ones who merely survive from the ones who transcend. And the truth is, you wouldn't even know your power if life didn't push you past your limits. You wouldn't tap into that next level of courage if the old level didn't collapse. That's why the breakdown is the doorway. That's why the breaking point is the beginning. It's the birth of the next version of you, but only if you choose to see it that way, because the pain will either paralyze you or propel you. The situation will either define you or refine you. The moment will either break you or make you. But the choice is yours, and don't think for a second that you're alone. Every champion has faced that moment. Every great soul has felt like quitting. What made them great wasn't the absence of pain, it was the presence of purpose. They knew the breaking point wasn't the end, it was the forge, and in that fire they became unstoppable. So the next time you hit the wall, when the pain gets unbearable and you want to scream, "Why is this happening to me?" Remember this, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. You were built for this, you were designed for the pressure, you were made for the mountain, and when you reach that summit, when you look back and see how far you've come, you'll realize the breaking didn't kill you, it revealed you. Emotion is one of the most powerful forces on earth. It can move nations, it can build empires, or it can destroy lives. When life breaks you, emotion surges to the surface. Grief, rage, despair, hopelessness. And if you don't channel that energy, it will consume you. It will drown you in the story that says, "This is the end, I'm not enough. I can't go on." But those emotions are not here to destroy you. They're here to inform you, to direct you, to ignite you. You see, emotion is energy in motion. It's not static. It's meant to be felt, expressed, moved through your body, but most people suppress it. They bottle it up, bury it deep, and pretend everything is fine until one day they explode, or they implode, and that's the cost of emotional avoidance. You don't just lose peace, you lose power. Because your emotions, if processed correctly, are rocket fuel. They are clarity, creativity, and drive. But if left unchecked, they are chaos. So when life breaks you and the emotions hit, feel them, but don't stay there. Acknowledge the pain, but don't build a home in it. Let yourself cry, scream, grieve, but then get up. Move the energy. Channel the emotion into action. Use it to fuel your transformation. Because every emotion you feel is a message. Anger is telling you a boundary has been crossed. Grief is telling you something mattered. Fear is telling you growth is on the other side. Listen to the message, but don't let it become your master. Too many people allow a temporary emotion to write a permanent identity. They feel broken, so they start calling themselves broken. They feel afraid, so they start living small. But you are not your emotion. You are the force behind it. And when you understand that, you become unstoppable. You realize, I can feel hopeless without being hopeless. I can feel fear and still take action. I can feel grief and still grow. Because emotion is not weakness, it's wisdom. The goal isn't to avoid pain, it's to rise with it. To take that storm of emotion and turn it into something beautiful. That's what the greats do. They don't let pain define them. They let it refine them. They don't let fear stop them. They let it sharpen them. So take that rage, take that heartbreak, take that shame, and build something powerful with it. Your emotions are your tools, not your enemies. Learn to master them, and you master your destiny. Life has a way of making you think it's over when it's really just setting the stage. You go through heartbreak, loss, betrayal, and it feels like the end, but let me tell you something. It's not the end, it's just a hard chapter, and every powerful story has a hard chapter. That's what makes it meaningful, that's what makes it real, but most people quit in middle of the chapter. They walk away before the redemption, before the comeback, and that's the tragedy. Not the pain, but the surrender. Don't confuse a painful moment with a permanent fate. Don't let a temporary loss become your identity. You are not your failure. You are not your trauma. You are not the worst thing that's ever happened to you. You are the author of your story, and the pen is still in your hand. What's beautiful about life is that it can turn around in an instant. One decision, one breakthrough, one bold act of faith can flip the entire narrative. But you've got to stay in the game long enough to see it happen. You've got to believe that the story isn't over, because life is not a straight line. It's a journey of peaks and valleys, and often your greatest valley is what prepares you for your highest peak. Think about any movie, any novel, any legendary tale. Never the smooth sailing that captures the heart. It's the storm, it's the struggle, it's the hero who rises when all seems lost. That's what you're living right now. You're not at the end, you're in the middle of your transformation. And if you hold on, if you keep writing, you'll look back one day and say, that chapter didn't break me. It built me. The key is to stop judging the process. Stop thinking you should be somewhere else by now. You're exactly where you need to be to learn what you need to learn. The hardship is not a detour, it's the path. And when you walk it with courage, when you own your story instead of running from it, you turn your wounds into wisdom. You turn your scars into strength. This chapter is hard, yes, but it's not the whole book. Don't close it. Don't give up. You're just getting started. Life doesn't spare anyone, not the rich, not the famous, not the righteous, not the strong. The world breaks everyone in one way or another. But what matters is what you do with the break. Do you let it crush you, or do you let it create you? Do you become a victim, or do you rise as a victor? Because here's the truth, being broken is inevitable. Staying broken is a choice. You see, the strongest people you've ever met, the ones with unshakable peace, unbreakable drive, unmatched wisdom, they weren't born that way. They were shattered just like you, but they decided that the break would not be the end of them. They made the pain their purpose. They took their scars and built bridges for others. They didn't hide the cracks. They used them as the proof of their power. That's what you're called to do, to let the breaking build you, to let the darkness teach you to shine, because indestructibility isn't about never being hit. It's about becoming so grounded in who you are, so rooted in truth that no matter how hard life hits, you bounce back harder, you get tougher, wiser, stronger, until eventually the things that used to break you become the very things that birth you. You are not fragile, you are forged, you are not a victim, you are a vessel of purpose. Every test, every tear, every trauma was a tool, a chisel in the hand of the universe, shaping you into someone powerful enough to lead, to love, to liberate others. So don't resent the breaking, respect it. It came to unlock your next level. You may not see it now, but you'll look back and realize it was breaking that made you unbreakable.